This is NEC News Today. I'm Jeremiah McKinnon with necnewstoday.com. Here now are the top cannabis news stories from around New England for the second week of July 2022. Our first story this week comes from Vermont, where the state has announced that it will end its state-run hemp program this year. Vermont has decided to no longer operate a state-run hemp program as of 2023. As of 2023, Vermont hemp producers must apply to receive approval from the U.S. Domestic Hemp Production Program to continue operating in the state. The Secretary of Vermont Agency of Agriculture, Food and Markets recently sent a letter to the United States Department of Agriculture formally withdrawing from the USDA hemp pilot program. The agency will continue to operate their hemp program until December 31, 2022. During the transition period, Vermont promises to participate in a joint webinar with the USDA, help refer registrants to the USDA grower licensing system, and engage in outreach to reach potential 2023 registrants. Vermont first legalized hemp in 2013. Hemp production was legalized nationwide in 2018, and USDA adopted rules in 2021 to oversee licensing of hemp growers and processors. For more information on this developing story, please visit our website. A dispensary applicant in Natick, Massachusetts, planning to build a second driveway, is running into opposition from the planning board. Relief Alternative is planning to open at 291 Worcester Street in Natick at the former site of Papagino's. Relief says that the existing driveway lacks appropriate amount of sight distance for drivers to avoid making a collision. Planning Board member Doug Landry, who is described as a planning professional, does not see the need for a second driveway and is pushing back on the idea. The Natick Police Department did not see a problem with a second driveway and said it could work to prevent traffic from building up on Route 9. Planning Board Chair Andy Mayer described the conflict as an unprecedented situation where the advice of police and fire departments may not be as convincing as the expertise of fellow board member Doug Landry. The Planning Board voted to obtain feedback from the Massachusetts Department of Transportation on the project and scheduled a future meeting in August. We will keep you updated as this driveway drama develops further. This week, I wanted to find some authentic garlic terps, so I located some Garlic Breath Premium Live Rosin from Bountiful Farms in Natick and decided to give it a try. Bountiful Farms has a great thing going on with their Premium Live Rosin. As soon as one opens the container, the smell of garlic breath fills the room. The flavor and clouds are great on this product. For the full review, including photos, please visit necnewstoday.com. This episode of NEC News Today is brought to you by CBD Please, the first CBD store east of the Mississippi, and your local resource for reasonably priced, lab-tested cannabis extracts. CBD Please was founded in 2014 by Bill Downing, who's been a leader in Massachusetts cannabis law reform since 1990. CBD Please offers everything from premium quality organic hemp buds to extracts, tinctures, and many other cannabinoids. Visit cbdplease.com for more information. The Connecticut Social Equity Council has approved 16 cultivation applications. At a recent meeting of the Connecticut Social Equity Council, the board voted to approve some of the first applications for social equity cultivation licenses. Out of 41 applications, only 16 qualified for social equity status, according to a review from a Boston audit firm. Connecticut law requires that social equity applicants own and control 65% of their cultivation license. 8 applicants were disqualified based on their ownership and control agreements. According to Jeffrey Magan, some of the ownership and management agreements included clauses that restricted voting power and created other control conflicts. The Social Equity Council ultimately approved 16 social equity applications in total. To proceed, applicants must pass background checks with the Department of Consumer Protection. Social equity applicants are not subject to the cannabis lottery to encourage more participation by individuals harmed by the war on drugs. At the same time, Connecticut law requires applicants to pay a hefty $3 million fee for a provisional license, which has been called the highest fee for social equity applicants in the United States. In Massachusetts, the Big Hope Project is holding a free event on July 29th at Nubian Gallery in Roxbury. The upcoming event, happening on July 29th, will include a free expungement clinic. Big Hope Project is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that regularly provides free events and expungement clinics to empower communities that have been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs. To participate in the Cori sealing and expungement process, Big Hope Project recommends that individuals bring their Cori record to the event to consult with a legal professional. MCR Labs will also be at the event to lead a bud tender training seminar for attendees. Guests can also take an opportunity to meet new people and network with like-minded individuals. The event takes place between 6 and 8 p.m. at 2164 Washington Street in Roxbury on July 29th. For more information on the event, please visit the Big Hope Project's website and necnewstoday.com. The Legislative Cannabis Conference Committee in Massachusetts recently had their first meeting to find common ground on the Equity Cannabis Bill. The committee came together to find common ground on an update to the 2017 law that legalized marijuana. Both chambers recently passed legislation to increase equity in the cannabis industry and create a Cannabis Social Equity Trust Fund for entrepreneurs to receive grants and loans to open cannabis businesses. During the public portion of the first meeting, State Senator Michael Rodriguez pointed out that there does not seem to be major differences between the two versions of the bill. House lawmakers dedicated a higher percentage of cannabis revenues towards diversity and equity projects in their bill. Before entering executive session, State Representative Daniel Donahue shared his optimism that the Cannabis Conference Committee could quickly settle any differences and agree on a final bill to send to the governor to sign into law. The legislative session in Massachusetts officially ends at the end of July. For more information on this developing story, please visit our website. 2 Rhode Island communities are gearing up for local votes on whether or not to allow cannabis businesses. In May of 2022, Rhode Island became the 19th state to legalize adult-use cannabis in the United States. Voters in Rhode Island will have their opportunity to decide whether or not to welcome cannabis businesses into their communities this fall. According to the Secretary of State's office, Barrington and Charlestown are the first towns to make plans to bring this issue before voters. Rhode Island's Cannabis Act gives cities and towns the option to let residents vote to accept or reject cannabis businesses. Communities that want to vote have until August 10th to submit information to the Secretary of State's office. Barrington was one of at least 10 communities that indicated a desire to bring this issue to the voters. Voting is scheduled to take place on November 8th. Last but not least this week, the Worcester WooSox has announced a special partnership with the cannabis company Green Meadows. Polar Park in Worcester is the home of the Worcester Red Sox, a minor league baseball team also known as the WooSox. According to Mass Live, the Worcester Red Sox recently signed a contract with Massachusetts cannabis company Green Meadows to advertise around the stadium and collaborate on events that focus on helping local veterans. Strict cannabis advertising guidelines in Massachusetts require that at least 85% of an audience is 21 years or older. To comply, Green Meadows says that they researched housing data to determine whether outside banners would be compliant. Roughly 60 banners are now located on the streetlights outside the stadium that include the Green Meadows logo and feature Worcester as the heart of Massachusetts. Green Meadows also has a deep connection to helping veterans. The company is run by the grandson of World War II General George S. Patton. The WooSox Foundation has held several events for veterans in the past and looks forward to organizing events in the future with Green Meadows as part of their 3-year agreement. For the absolute latest New England Cannabis News, head on over to necnewstoday.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video. Subscribe to NEC News Today for more great content and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode of the show. For New England Cannabis News Today, this is Jeremiah McKinnon reminding you to always use cannabis responsibly and to enjoy your cannabis-filled adventures throughout New England.